Okay, what's the privilege that men have that women don't?
So I have two.
Go ahead.
I feel that men have the privilege of feeling more safe than women.
Knew she was going to say that.
Okay, and number two.
You're wrong on that, but it's fine. I'll let you keep going.
So for the second one, I do believe that, especially like you mentioned, in a more male-dominated field or where these, I guess, traditional views of men and women do exist, women are not taken seriously than men are, and I feel that that is a privilege that men do have.
Yes.
Okay, so your two things that you think men have experienced privileges: one, feeling safer, and then two, being taken seriously in the workforce. Okay, the first one is wrong because men are overwhelmingly the victims of violent crime, not women. It's men. Like you're like 10 times more likely as a man to be the victim of violent crime versus a woman. And then the second thing you mentioned about being taken seriously, all right, you can make that argument, but I would argue that women get more opportunities at least so they can at least be taken seriously. So you can go ahead and get into certain rooms that I can't because you're a woman, and then you at least get the opportunity to prove yourself that you're not a bimbo. Yep. But whereas the man doesn't even get the opportunity. So yes, you might not be taken seriously in the beginning. They're like, oh yeah, she's probably just hot piece of ass. We brought her in here for looks. But then if you actually show that you're competent, you can do shit. They're like, oh wow, okay.
An office.
They'll change their mind. So I would argue if a woman doesn't get taken seriously, that's her fault for being incompetent. But she at least gets the opportunity to show her prowess
and get in the room.
Yep.
I disagree, and I also.
Why do you disagree?
Tell him.
Well, first I'm going to begin with the safety.
Okay.
I think you mentioned earlier how men. I mean, we can acknowledge that men are physically more stronger than women.
Yes.
So therefore, I think it is way more understandable that a woman would feel less safe, and a man should. Yes, there are men against other men.
Okay, you said an important word just now. You said feel. Right? You do understand that you can feel something, but it's not real. I'll give you an example. I can feel unsafe, but the reality is you're very safe. So feelings doesn't necessarily represent reality. But a lot of the times women tend to think that their feelings do represent reality.
Okay.
So just because you feel, I feel unsafe, statistically speaking, you're far less likely to be assaulted than I would be walking down the same dark street that you're worried about, statistically speaking.
Wait, what statistic?
I just explained it. Men are far more likely to be the victims of violent crime than women.
Okay.
Way more.
Okay. I was about to say.
I feel that also with femininity or like masculine, feminine energy. Feminine represents emotions, intuition, feeling. So I feel that intuition is associated with feeling, and that in a lot of situations can keep you safe.
I mean, that's cool, but like, what does that have to do with like? I would say that you just made my argument stronger by saying that women have more privileges, because you came up with the goal here is you're supposed to show how men have more privilege. There are two things that men have a privilege that women don't. I'm saying those two things you mentioned aren't true.
March.
Because the two arguments you gave was women aren't as safe because you don't feel that safe, but I'm saying that it's not true because men are more likely to be assaulted physically, victims of violence. And the second one is being taken seriously, but I'm making the argument that you at least get the opportunity to be taken seriously.
I just feel that the only reason that a man would feel unsafe is against another man. So I do feel that it's more privilege for a man to feel safe because it's only against their own gender, whereas a woman does have to worry about a man because of the physical, I guess, strength difference.
I get that. You can worry about it, but it doesn't mean it's real.
But it's still a
you
privilege.
can feel unsafe but be completely safe. You understand it, right?
It's a threat, but
so like if I'm in my house, right, and I'm scared of ghosts and I hear a sound, right? I can oh my god, I feel unsafe. Casper's here. But realistically speaking, I'm perfectly safe. I just feel unsafe because I think a ghost is there, but it's not true.
Who is it?
And this is kind of the difference between men and women. Is like you guys tend to interpret your reality through your feelings. There's actually an inherent flaw in female nature.
I hate it.
How dare you?
Yeah, thank you.
Like damsel in distress vibes.
I don't like it.
No, I was going to argue more vibes, but like it's women interpret women interpret the world around them based on their feelings. You just made an emotional argument that's not true, factually speaking.
I kind of do agree with
I
that.
feel that I like to say feel.
That's the problem.
Emotional
cards.
intelligence is also a form of intelligence to me.
Can you define emotional
Yeah,
intelligence for
What
us?
is that? I'm curious.
Emotional intelligence is when you're able to utilize your self-regulation as skills by understanding your emotions and allowing that to help you understand the world around you and people around you.
Would it be fair to say that that boils down to interpreting the world through your feelings?
Yes.
That's
And that is
precisely why I
emotional
just said it's a
intelligence.
fault of yours. Interpreting the world through your feelings is a flaw.
You know what? I'll give you an example. I feel like you make orange chicken. Do you?
I can air fry
But-
orange
I bet you
chicken.
it
But do you?
I have.
Okay.
And I bet you was good,
And
right?
also,
It's pretty. Yeah.
Period.
you might
Trader
feel like
Joe's.
I'm trying to
I
come
like
up and get
chicken,
some.
fried chicken.
Just like-
But is it true?
What?
No cap.
No, is it true?
What is true?
I said you might feel like I like fried chicken. Is it true?
I'm not sure.
But it's a feeling, right?
Yes.
But doesn't make it true.
No.
That's all he's saying right now.
Okay.
He does like fried chicken, so you'd be feeling right. But the reality is
But
that
I'm gonna diet.
your feelings are not like how you feel versus what's real are two different things. Is what I'm trying to
I
explain.
agree.
I
I
think
agree
there
with that.
I think what you're saying, there should be a healthy balance between logical thinking and also like intuition. And
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Masculine.
Yes.
and
Yeah,
feminine.
it has a healthy balance with everything.
No, it should all be
Agreed.
logically sound thinking.
No,
That's, it
definitely.
shouldn't
But
be.
that's you're a man, so that's
What
fine.
in life
Yes.
is balance, though?
And
Yes.
that's a good thing.
And that's why we're better decision makers than you guys, and we're better leaders. Like, this is why 90+% of the inventions in the world were created by men, and the civilization that we live in was created by men. Like,